All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here, and today we have another watch from Swiss Watch Company. I want to thank the Romer family out there for letting me take a look at this. They're a family with a rich, long history in Swiss watchmaking. Stefan Romer has been involved in Swiss watchmaking, I think, for over 25 years. His children are involved. The whole family is really involved in the process, and they turn out some really spectacular timepieces. So today we have a brand new one from them. This is the Arc GMT. Now, previously, I think earlier this year, I had the Arc titanium version on the channel, and that was a titanium watch, like I said, with the small seconds down at the 6 o'clock position. This watch happens to be a stainless steel case on this watch, and instead of having the small seconds at 6 o'clock position, what you have here is you actually have a GMT window at 6 o'clock. Go ahead and push in the crown and get this thing running. But that's really different. I've actually never seen a watch with this functionality. I'll be honest, this is my very first time to see a watch with a GMT window. That is fully independently settable from the hands, just like a date functionality would be, but it's going to let you know a second time zone if you prefer, or in this particular case, I actually have it set for 10 p.m. in the evening, which would be 2200 hours, as you can see there. Pretty cool functionality. You guys let me know down below in the description if you consider this a GMT watch, more of a 24-hour functionality, but I think it can really operate as both. For me, right now I have it set in the 24-hour function, but you can turn this around three or 4 hours forward or backwards, depending on where you're traveling to, and that's a really easy settable thing. Being that it's a quartz watch also, I think it really makes life even easier. So let me go ahead and go through the specifications on this watch, and we'll talk more about it. 39 millimeter case from side to side on this watch, not including the crown, of course. 46 millimeters from lug to lug. A super, super comfortable 9 millimeters of thickness from the case back to the top of the flat sapphire crystal, as you can see there, which is pretty much flush with the bezel on the watch. And you have 20 millimeter lug openings on the watch. Now, one of the most spectacular features of this particular watch is the dial itself, and I'll tell you why that is. This is a dished dial, so as I turn it here, you guys can see that it actually goes up to the crystal there. That is eliminating shadows from the watch. It really just breaks down the shadows on the watch, and you're not going to have much problem with that. The other thing that really is crazy on this one is it has 16 layers of AR coating. So as you guys can see, as I turn it here in my office, I have lighting all over the place. And usually if I'm a watch with a domed crystal without AR coating, I mean, you guys can see my lighting, everything, my ceiling fans going on. This watch is totally different. There's no reflection whatsoever at all in that. And part of that is that dished dial there, plus that AR coating. Now, I'm going to get it up here a little closer because I think you guys definitely need to see this. Now, the indices are debossed into that surface. So what that means is they're actually pressed down into the surface. Embossed would mean they were raised up above. These are debossed, so they're actually pushed down 0.4 millimeters, and then it's filled with BGW9, I do believe Super Luminova. So we'll check that out. The hands on the watch are diamond cut syringe tip, also filled with BGW9 Lume. I like the touch of that orange pip on that second hound ticking around there. This particular watch is running a Swiss movement. Of course, it's a Swiss-made watch. It's running the Ronda 51524, so that's a 515, pretty basic Ronda movement, but a true, Swiss quartz movement with a 24-hour functionality down there at that 6 o'clock position. Now, I'll go ahead and show you how that works. We'll go ahead and pull out the crown once, and we'll go ahead and turn that dial around. You can move this to wherever you want. Now, I said you could move it back and forth, but actually it only moves in one direction, which is fine because either way you can still get it in the position you want it to be in and go ahead and set it. So I'm just going to bring it back here to the 2200 hours, a little past there because we're about quarter after, and get that set. But super easy to use there, and if you pull it all the way out, of course, you have the ability to set the time on the watch, and as you guys can see, that 24-hour dial there will move with the time as you're going through here. Now we're going to go to 1 o'clock in the morning. Go ahead and stop at like 1:50 here, so we're pretty close to 2 o'clock in the morning there. Maybe just a little bit before that. But it's super easy to set. Now, you see the crown is not screw down. Simple pop-out crown, but you do get 100 meters water resistance with the watch, and that's because they've used 3 O-rings on this crown to really secure it in place. Now, if you wanted to catch that dish dial, boy, you can really see it there at that angle. Sign crown is visible here. And looking at the finishing on the watch, they've done a beautiful, beautiful job. You have brushing along the side of the case. You have this nice, thick beveled edge that comes out to the end of the lug, almost fills in all of the brushing of the top of the lug, just leaves a little hint of that brushing over there to the side, but then comes up underneath the polished bezel on the watch. Really, really well done. The strap on the watch. I love these kind of straps. I actually wear my Glycine Airman, my GMT Airman, on a very, very similar strap to this. This is a leather top strap, and it's interesting because as soon as I pulled it out of the packaging, which is all leather, I could smell the leather on the strap, the genuine leather. But what's really great about this is you flip it over and it's super flexible rubber on the underside. So you're not going to ruin your leather strap as you sweat with this on. This rubber will help protect it, keeps it super flexible, very nice, and you can see the quick release pins there. Taking a look at the case back, we can see the Arc GMT model number there, sapphire crystal, Swiss made. 316L stainless steel, and then 100 meters of water resistance. So really a watch that can really do anything for you. Have to admit, as I get more and more into watches, guys, I wear really nice automatic watches, but the more and more I put on quartz watches, the more I really appreciate the grab and go simplicity of it. I think it's just so simple. Now, some people may have a problem with the fact that there are no minute marks besides the 5-minute section. For me, it doesn't bother me. I don't have a problem with that. It is a quartz watch, and as we all know, they have a problem hitting those indices. This one isn't perfect, but it lands okay on those. I've said it in numerous videos. That's something I've gotten over with quartz watches. I just really don't worry too much about it. As long as it's hitting 60 seconds and keeping good time, I have no problem with that. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and check out the Lume on this watch. But first, let's go ahead and throw it on my 7-inch wrist and see how it looks. All right, so I say I have a 7-inch wrist. Maybe I need to measure my wrist. Maybe I've porked up a little bit. I don't think so. But the one thing I will say is the strap is short. You guys can see I am pretty much almost maxed out. Any more you use, you're going to be eliminating a keeper on this watch of actually using it. So the strap itself is a little short. I'm not sure if the Roamers are going to offer a few different sizes on the straps for these watches, but overall the watch fits my wrist very nicely, and I think it's a extremely nice looking timepiece. The Arabics all the way around are something I absolutely love, but very well put together. Let's dim the lights and check out the Lume. Well, it's always a super good indicator when I just dim the office lights, the studio lights, I should say. It's my office, though, too. But when I dim the lights and the watch is glowing. So Swiss watch company, from what I've seen, is really using a lot of Lume on their watches. Now, they say it's 3 layers on the hands and I think the indices, but man, it sure does seem like a lot more than 3 layers of BGW9. But it's on there, it's glowing. Really nice timepiece, guys. If you're looking for a GMT style watch with a little bit of different functionality, this maybe you want to look at. These will be $250 USD at the Swiss Watch Company website. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can check them out. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. All right, thanks, guys.